So today's call, guys, is entitled Focus, okay? Focus, a 5-letter word, F-O-C-U-S, focus. And what it takes to actually to stay focused, right? The fact that the word focus has to come up in so many different programs. I mean, when I was working in the bank, as you guys know, 15 years there, and you know, teaching, training and coaching people across the world, that word came up a lot of time. Why do you think that word focus would come up a lot of times? And these are people that are not necessarily new to the game. These are people that are experienced. These are people that are experts in their field. These are people that know their stuff. But on a yearly basis, there was a training around focus. Why do you think that would be? Okay, what is it about you know, distractions, or what is it about obstacles, or what is it about, you know, things that you know, when you should know something, and when you're an expert in the field, there's sometimes that word focus needs to be reminded. That word focus, that action focus needs to be positioned into our life on a regular basis. Why? Because of the distractions. Why? Because of self-doubt. Why? Because of the reality that sometimes we focus on what we see rather than what it is that we want. Okay. And I want to encourage you today that focus has to be at the forefront of your decision making. When you ask yourself, before you do something, or before you start to enter into a space where you begin to change direction, or you begin to navigate, ask yourself, am I focused? What am I focusing on? Now, how do you, what are the tips that I can give you guys in order to stay focused, in order to make sure that you keep the main thing, the main thing? I need you to put that in there, the main thing, the main thing. So easy to get distracted. I myself, guys, I have a plethora of ideas that come to my head all the time. And I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. But we must stay focused. Let me tell you why. The reason why is because when you are focused on something, if you're focused on that one thing, guess what happens? Everything else becomes blurry. When you have absolute focus, I want you to close your eyes right now, squint it and look at something. Look at something to the point where you just only see that. You're staring at that one thing. Everything else will become blurry. You're only going to see that one thing. And I think we spoke about it last week, tunnel vision, where when you set your mind on a goal, let's say you set your mind on a certain car, when you go out, that's the only car you see on the road, despite there being loads of other cars around. But whatever you focus on grows. And so we have to be intentional about making sure that we keep focused on what it is that we want to grow. Now, any entrepreneur, any business owner, any strategic person, successful person will tell you that in life, distractions will come about. How many of you right now have experienced distractions today? Put a 7 in the chat box. Something could have taken you off course, or you started to do something and you got distracted, or you was about to post and then a notification came up, or you were about to do something else and something else came up. And life is going to be full of distractions. But what we have to be good at is staying focused, is staying clear on what it is that we want to do. So here's some tips for you, very, very simple tips on how you can stay focused. The first thing is this: figure out what you want to achieve for the day, and then align yourself with the clear tasks that's going to get you what it is that you want to achieve. So what is it that I want for today? And what do I need to do in order to make sure that I get that done? Now, one of the things that a lot of people are guilty of, guys, is having these, and it's not a bad thing to have a big goal, like in 5 years' time, I want to do this, and in 10 years' time. In fact, in 5 years' time, I want you to type in a goal that you have for 5 years' time, something that is a long-term vision of yours. Go ahead and type it in the chat, right? Because sometimes we have those goals. And when so you want to create a flying car, Gary? I think that might take you, I'm not sure. You, a homeowner, okay? Pay off your mortgage, all right? Have a homestead, 7-figure trading account, homeowner, a few homeowners will come out, right? Boom. So that's the 5-year goal, okay? We got the 5-year goal. Now, here's what I want you to do. In order to really focus to make sure that your daily activities are aligned with that goal, you then want to ask yourself, okay, how do I break it down into what we call them aggregate goals. Aggregate goals, okay? Okay, so you want to break them down into tiny chunks, bite-sized chunks. So maybe the goal, I see someone say, buy a land back home, okay? Chairman 750, retire my mum, right? So maybe the goal is that 5-year goal. How much is that goal going to cost you? Who do you need to be around in order to get that done? What is the amount of money that you actually need? Because so many times we have a goal, but we haven't really experienced what it's going to take. Have you actually worked out the numbers, the tangible numbers on what it is that you want? So you want to be able to buy that land back home. How much does it cost? What's the figure? What's the number? Let's get granular with it. So now we know that it's going to cost, I don't know, 600,000. Now we have 5 years to get to that goal of 600,000, right? Now let's break it down. 600,000, let's say 500,000 to make it easier on my brain, 500,000. So we're going to break it down into 5 years. Someone tell me now, 500,000 into 5 years is what? 100,000 a year. Okay, very simple maths, guys. If you're with me, say yes in the chat or give me a thumbs up, a chest pump, a peace out, or a yo, whatever it is that you do. Okay, excellent. So now we've broken down the goal of 600,000, 500,000 to make it easier. And we've broken it down to a yearly goal, which is 100,000 a year. Now we're going to look at that yearly goal and say, what do I need to do to earn 100,000 this year? I need you to break that down for me, right? So I'm going to do very simple maths, guys. All right. Very, very simple maths. 100,000, okay, divided by 12. Let's pretend it's the start of the new year and then we'll change it in a moment. All right. Boom. All right. So each month I need to make 8,333. Okay. Now, if I haven't done that in my first month, I now need to divide that 8,333 from the 11 months that's left in order for me to be able to do that. Does that make sense? Yes or yes in the chat, or whatever the shortfall is. Now, once I've got the number in my mind, okay, now I need to say, well, what do I have to do in order to get that? How do I get a 10,000 a month income? How do I get an 8,000 a month income? What do I physically need to do on a daily basis, right? So if we have 8,333, divide that, let's say we got 28 days in a month, okay? That is only £297 a day. I want you to understand what I'm saying. So in order for you to earn 100,000, you need 297 a day. Now, if you currently work a job, I want you to take away from that 297 how much you're earning in your job. And when you take away how much you're earning in your job or the income you have now, you now have a figure, right? But let's say you're doing this full time and you need 297 a day in order to get your goal of 100,000 a year. Just give me again sevens. I don't want to overcomplicate this. I want to make sure that we're all in alignment. We're all on the same page. Now, 297, let's round it up to £300 just to make it simplistic for our minds. If I need to make £300 a day, okay, £300 a day, and I get for every elite pack that I sell, I'm going to get $50, okay? I'm just breaking this down. So let's say I'm going to sell 3 elite packs a day. That is $150 out of my $300 target that I'm looking for on a daily basis. Now, here's the best part of it. I'm also going to trade. So my trading needs to be $150 a day, £150 a day, my selling 3 elite packs. And now I have done my £300, $300 every single day, which equates to my 100,000. Now, I know that I want to sell 3 elite packs and I know that I want to do my 150 a day. What are the actions that I have to take in order to make sure that I get those free elite packs and those $150 a day in my trading? What do I tangibly have to do? Because I don't want to have to depend on something else. I don't want to have to depend on anything else. I must know what are the work ethics, what are the principles, what are the things that I need to do in order to stay focused onto my goal. I must have a list of daily activities. Write that down. So in order to stay focused, you need a list of daily activities. So what are the activities every single day that you are going to do in order to hit the goal that you have? Because what happens is we say these words, but we don't really apply them with the work ethic, with the tangible behaviors that are required in order for us to do this. I hear the word consistency. I hear the word removing anything that's not in alignment with those daily activities. So what is it that you need to do on a daily basis to make sure that the goal that you have set, you can tangibly see what you're doing for that goal every single day? And anything that comes in to distract away from that list of behaviors and actionable tasks. This is not words that you put on a piece of paper. I saw somebody put in the chat the other day, I must stay proactive. That's not an action. What is it that you have to do every single day? I would love it if some of you will type in the chat box for me some tangible actions. If you were coaching me that I could do every day, income producing activities, IPAs, that's going to enable me to get that 150 a day from my trading, 150 a day from those free elite packs. Or if I'm doing, you know, the one of the basic packs, and it's going to be 4 of those. Okay, so showing the plan, showing my products to as many customers as I potentially can. How many customers see your product? How many customers even know you have a product? How many customers are you targeting to show your products on a daily basis? All right. How do you speak to your customers? How do you connect with your customers? What are the, your strategy? Is it Instagram Live, Facebook Live, social media, getting out there, speaking to people in the supermarket, phone calls inside your warm market? What is it that you do every single day? Do you have a promotional video that you're sending out? Are you sharing, on live sessions? Okay, so we have, and then we go over to the making money side from the trading. You have the live sessions with the educators. What else can you do? Okay, making sure that you're taking the trades from the strategies, copying and pasting from the trades inside the community, making sure you don't over leverage, making sure you're using proper risk management. Okay, taking the signals that you're receiving, making sure that your mindset's in the right place. Because if your mindset's not in the right place, what's going to happen is you won't be in the right place to press those buttons. Reading, journaling, making sure you're having your personal development, all of this stuff is going to help you to stay focused on your journey, to stay focused into what you want. So once you realize what you want, and we're not going to go into that because we spoke about that on a previous call, now you've got to then put in the tangible, tiny noticeable things. All right, tiny noticeable things, TNTs, the tiny noticeable things that's going to take you from where you are to where you want to be. It is not something that's going to be some big dramatic thing and it happens overnight. These are things that are very, very small adjustments. Sometimes we say things that are out of our control. Okay, I'm going to get an office. I challenge you to think of things that don't require you extra resources, don't require you to take time off work or, buy stuff or wait till you've lost weight to purchase, or don't require you to depend on outside circumstances. But what can you do? What can you do? We used to have this thing when I was in the bank called a can-do clinic. And a can-do clinic is where you write out the goal and then you list all the things that you can do within your power right now in order to hit that goal. Because a lot of the time we talk about what we can't do. Oh no, I can't do that. Oh no, I can't do that. Well, if your goal is to make £300 a day, what can you do? How many of you, first of all, put 777 in the chat if you know that is more than doable to make £297 a day? Go ahead, because first of all, we got to believe it. We got to know that it's possible. We got to know that we have all the resources, we have all the tools, we have all of the things in place that will allow us to make that £297 a day. Now we've understood we can do it. I want you to type in the chat for me now, what can you do in order to ensure that you can start to make that 297? What are the things that you can do? Okay, this is how we tunnel the focus. This is how we get real down and dirty into the tangible things that we can do. What can you do to make sure that you are in alignment with that goal? Now, your goal may not be 297. Okay, what do you need to do to be organized? What does being organized mean? Does it mean setting an alarm clock to do things at a certain time? What are the things you want to do at a certain time? Book your launch, Malvina. Yes, so now you're being clever. Rather than speaking to one person at a time, you book a launch and get 30, 50, 100 people on there one time. You're going to do more than just those 3, and now you're ahead of the game. Okay, post on social media. Make sure that you have your strategic marketing, right? Have a trading plan. What else? What do you need to do? I want you to start by saying, I can, because this has to be personal to you. What can you do? What is it that you can do in order to make sure that you get the result that you want? Right? And I challenge you after this call to really work out what it is that you need to do to get to the goal that you have. Because if you work out a daily method of operation, what happens is you don't get stuck when distractions come your way. You must remain focused. So now you've got your daily methods of operation. Now you've decided what it is that you want to do. Guess what happens? How do you avoid, okay, find the chat box. This is a workshop today. You guys are getting Nikki the workshop. You're getting the facilitator today, right? So now I want you to type in the chat box for me some of the distractions that come your way on a daily basis. I want you to type that in the chat box for me, because we're going to handle some of these today. What are some of the distractions? Because you feel pumped, you got your to-do list, you've worked out your daily methods of operation. What are some of the distractions? So we got talking to friends about people, scrolling through social media, pointless phone calls, family drama, woman them. How many women you got? Negative energy, emotions, the fear of missing out, work, procrastination, other people's drama, letters, Netflix, oh boy, the word no, kids getting on my nerves, Instagram, lazy, okay, tea. Hey, Shantae, you need to stop listening to the tea, girl. Negative people, not researching, stop the teaing, yes, TV. So we fear, right? So we can list for days all the distractions, the bag of chattings we call it, right? All the distractions. You guys are going to leave off here Jamaican. I want you to put no bag of chattings in the chat. When your friends see you next, they're going to say, what? Who you been hanging around? Yeah, it's the Jamaican in me. No bag of chattings. So what are the things that you can do? Because if you know these distractions are going to come, we've already seen it. For me, I'll tell you one of the distractions that I have right now, guys, is the world and their mother seem to be DMing me, asking me, how many of you are getting this online? Asking me if I want NFTs, if I want to do crypto, all these scammers, big distraction. I got caught distracted with all these scammers messaging me, people wanting to offer me the world and the mother, some of them fake accounts, some that like women profiles, but they're actually like Nigerian men. Like, it's absolutely crazy. I spend a lot of my time, reporting, blocking and deleting these crazy scammers that seem to be sliding in my DMs constantly. Another distraction for me is, other companies wanting to recruit me. I'm getting that on a daily basis. People coming to me, telling me to do this and that and that and that. And we have to stay focused, guys. We've got to stay so focused. There are sharks out there. And what they do is they feed off of the desperation of individuals to succeed by doing a shortcut. And we have to also be careful, because when you are desperate, you become vulnerable. And if you are vulnerable, what happens is the snakes, the sharks, the scammers can smell it a mile away. If it smells like a rat, it's a wrap, guys. I've been hearing so many people. God bless this lady. She sent me a DM. One of the scammers actually got her to send $8 grand. Like, how would you send $8,000 to a complete stranger? And then they got her to send it through Western Union, guys. I mean, if that doesn't scream scam, then what does? But here's the thing, people are so desperate that they ignore the red flags when they come. And so I need us to make sure we get the message out there. If anybody tells you to transfer money, even if they are someone inside the community, you need to reach out. Guys, if I ever told you to send you money, you need to find me and say, Nikki, this is wrong. You can't do this. Like, don't just trust someone of authority just because you see that person, you know, being leveraged or in the limelight. Do not give your money to anybody, guys. My cousin sent £1,000 to a scammer. You see, this is crazy, guys. We need to make sure we get out there. Do not send any money to anyone, no matter who it is. We do not do that. Definitely not by Western Union, PayPal, MoneyGram, and all these other different places, bank transfers. Do not do it, guys. It is a big distraction, and they play on desperation, and they prey on people that don't have the knowledge. And it is our duty of care to make sure that people have the knowledge so that they, number one, don't be vulnerable, and number two, we protect them. Very, very important. Someone wanted to get me to transfer 5,000 Bitcoin and pose as one of my colleagues. Someone pretended to be Nikki on IG, begged me send 250. Guys, I will never be DMing you. I will never authorize anyone to take money from you. Believe me when I say we're good over here. I don't ask anybody for money. All right. It's absolutely crazy. We were scammed by our P2K. Wow. I hope you reported that. That's crazy. That is, I tell you, guys, let me just say this, and I'm going to be absolutely clear, okay? The rules are very, very clear. Anybody, I mean, you know, you've seen those scammers where they send you a message and say, HMRC owe you a tax rebate. Have you seen the tax text messages? They're scammers saying, click this link, put your card details in, and then we're going to give you X amount of thousands. You've paid too much tax. They're all scammers. Don't click any links on, you know, from anyone, even if what they're doing now is they're hacking real people's accounts, and they are, that's fine, Brother Gary. Thank you for letting me know. They hack people's accounts, and so they'll send you from somebody else. But let me tell you this, guys, the only way they manage to hack your account is if you click a link, if you are prepared to participate in what it is that they're doing. So the people all the accounts that have been scammed, they have clicked a link saying that they're happy to get some money from these people, right? That's the only way your account can get cloned. So you have to make sure that, and somebody DMs you to come scam you or to tell you they're going to, you know, you give 100 and they'll give you 10,000 on top, or you give $1 grand or $2 grand or $5 grand, you must run a mile. Do not think there's any shortcuts to this game. There are no shortcuts, okay? No bots, no automation, no man in a van. Guys, 15 years banking experience. I worked with some of the top traders in the world, okay? I trained some of the top traders. I didn't train them on trading. I trained them on customer service and stuff like that. But I was alongside them and watched them, guys. They have to be accredited every single year. You need a special license to trade for someone. It is illegal to trade for somebody else. It is, if somebody offers for you to do that, or they're going to give you money, ask and demand to see their license. If they do not have a license, run like a thief, run away. Someone asked my husband for IG login info to transfer Bitcoin to him, and he had 8,000 followers. They are being very, very aggressive right now, guys. And we must make sure that we stay focused. We must make sure that we don't get done. We are inside the environment. We know what it's like. So when someone comes with a different story, telling you, even, you know, there's even people that you wouldn't even think it a part of this stuff. So you just got to be vigilant. You got to ask for discerning spirit. You also need to make sure that, you know, if in doubt, guys, Don't ever make decisions when it comes to handing over money without talking to your mentor first, okay? Now, I'm saying chairman mentor, okay? So if anybody approaches you, come to me directly, guys. You all know how to find me. Don't, I had a lot of people, I'm Nikki, you're busy, or blah, blah. If anybody comes to you for money, come to me first. Don't give nobody no money. Run a mile, guys. People are being, people are being targeted, especially vulnerable people that don't have the knowledge, or not necessarily the information or the background to really challenge what these people are saying. And they're very clever with it. They come with all different potions, lotions, and oceans and sell you a dream. And you just got to be woke to this thing. So it's very big distractions. We must stay focused. Stay focused. 99% of the scammers don't have good grammar or spelling. Someone I met at a conference is suggesting, look, there's going to be so many different things, guys, and so many different stuff. I don't even edify the names. I don't even mention certain things. And you got to be careful what you recite back, what you're promoting. Even when you're talking badly about something, you're actually promoting things as well. So you just got to be careful, what it is that you put out there into the atmosphere. So, energy is important. Just, one of the tips for me is I have a look at who my mentors are following. I have a look if my mentors are following them. I also have a look at, when especially for scammers, most of the time they've put all their posts at the same time. 5,000-10,000 followers, but only 2 likes. It doesn't make no sense. Where's their Instagram lives? There's no Instagram lives. And this is why we have to make sure that we're on point. Because some people, they're not scammers, but their account looks like a scammer. They've only got 1 post. There's no picture, especially if your picture's an NFT as well. You're like, oh my gosh, who is this person? So just make sure that your page looks appropriate. Your page looks welcoming, because that's how people are going to connect with you. So once you've assessed and all of the different obstacles, all of the different things that could potentially distract you, come again in the chat box for me. Yes, your page definitely must be open. Don't have a locked page. Just going to prevent people buying from you. Also have your link in your bio so people can buy from you without any questions and without having to directly converse with you. So one of the things I want us to do right now is, now we've listed all of the obstacles, what can we do to make sure that we adapt and overcome any obstacle of distraction that may come our way? Based on some of the things that we've said today, what can we do? Make sure we got the right mindset. Yes. What else? What are some of the things that we could do to attack or overcome? Scammers feed off our greed and laziness. Yes, they do. All right. And sometimes it's just a simple question. Does this make sense? Does this tangibly make sense? Like if I wasn't, if I wasn't a part of this, would this actually make sense? That I give somebody £100 and they give me back 10K and they charge me nothing? Like, does that really make sense? Don't rush into anything. Ask advice first. Stay educated. Set daily goals and stick to them. Set a time frame for those daily goals. Set alarms on your phone. Okay, we called them an opportunity call, not an alarm. So the call comes on your phone and it's an opportunity for you to tick something off. Set small goals. All right. Some people say, I'm going to speak to 10 people today. Well, why don't you just make a target to speak to 1? Speak to 1 first. Because if you haven't done 1 before, how about you speak to 1, or then you bring it up to 2, then you bring it up to 3. What if you just make a target to get 1 person confirmed? Just 1. Sometimes we do these big goals and then it makes us feel a bit underwhelmed when we don't achieve that. The pretend Nikki asked if I wanted to learn new strategies. I asked which one, and they said the one we talked about last night, and they never messaged me back. Yeah, and I mean, don't entertain these people. Straight report them. That's what you can do. Guys, don't send me them. I mean, I'm getting bombarded with all of them every day. Just straight report and block these people. Don't waste your energy. Again, it's a distraction. You can spend time talking to the scammer. You know it's a scammer. Why are you entertaining them? You're wasting time, right? Just simply block. I saw one that literally had me on the floor. I'm not going to lie. Like, one of my good friends, he's not part of the team, and he was literally in a war with a shut your mouth, I'm going to knock you out. And all of this. I was like, bro, you are wasting your time. Get an accountability partner. Very important. An accountability partner. Very, very important. to make sure that you hold yourself accountable. If you haven't got an accountability partner, guys, it's important to get yourself an accountability partner. In fact, I will challenge you to get one by the end of this week, okay, that you can buddy up with and say, hey, look, this is what I'm going to achieve this week. Let's hold each other accountable. Let's speak every week, okay? Accountability is so important. Don't overcomplicate things. Keep it very, very simple. Involve your children. They will push you when you don't feel like it, 100%. You know, leading up to, you know, the 10,000 a month mark, when I first got started, I had the goals written on the wall and I was literally ticking it off, how many more customers I needed, and the children were ticking it off with me. So especially if you're a parent on the call, get the children involved, show them what you're doing, explain to them. It's funny, my son came to me today, he was like, Mum, have you sorted out the situation? I was like, what situation? I didn't even know he was listening. He was like, you know, the snakes. Have you cut the grass yet, Mum? And he sorted out the snake. You gotta be careful, you know, they're listening and they're listening to everything. I said, yes, son, don't worry, it is all sorted out. And the Kane is really, for those of you that see my son, he is really challenging. He is about that life. Like, he's just like, yeah, because, you know, no one can stop us, Mum. They can't stop us. Okay, they can't stop us. We already know C750 is done. I'm like, okay, son, $1 million a month is nothing, Mum. So bring the children in, because they're going to hype you up. Even sometimes when you don't even feel like it, they will hype you up and they'll remind you of what you said. And I heard something today that was, you know, powerful. And I've heard, I'm going to close out now, but I've heard Austin Godsey say this so many times, which is this: have your why and then go to your why and tell them that they're your why. So you go to your child, like I went to my son, my daughter, and I was just like, listen, you guys, Mommy's doing this for you. Okay, Mommy is putting everything in. This is what I promise you. You see, when we make this amount of money, when we get to this mark, this is what it's going to be able to do for you guys. When we get to this mark, this is what it's going to be able to do for you guys. When you get to this mark, this is what it's going to be able to do for you. And every single day leading up to, you know, 6 figures, my son was saying to me, have we got there yet, Mom? Have we get there? Where are we going? Where are we booking? Where are we booking? He's driving to the goal because he's personally invested in us getting to the goal, because he knows what's going to happen when we get to that goal. And so now, when you feel like quitting, you better make sure that before you quit, you go to your why and say to your child or say to your mom, you know what, you're just not worth it. I'm quitting. I don't care. I'm not doing it anymore. How many of you will be comfortable to go to your children or go to your parents and turn around and say, you know what, you're not worth it. I changed my mind. It's too hard. You're not worth it. You're not worth the fight. I'm going to throw in the towel, and that goal that we said, we just ain't going to do it. Anytime you feel like you're going to get distracted, think of your why. Think of what you promised them. Think of how you went to them, how they faced it up when you promised them that new house. I said to my son, I said, son, when we hit this, you guys are going to be able to get a brand new house, a brand new room. You're going to be able to go to a brand new school. And I promise you, I, as your mom, will promise you that I will not let up until it's done. And the day that we exchanged, I didn't even tell the kids, guys. I didn't tell them. They stayed at their godparents' house while myself and Anton came and did as much as we could in the house, got their room together. And I sent my son a video and I was like, look at your room. And it was empty. He's like, oh my God, Mom, what's happened in my room? Who's stolen my bed? Who's taken all my stuff? I was like, I don't know, son, but we're going to have to do something about it. And I tricked the kids. And then I went, picked them up, brought them here. And the look on their face, they were like, oh my gosh. Guys, I posted half of the video. I didn't post all of it because I'm a private person, but I posted half of the video on my Instagram, showing the look on my son's face when he realized he had a room that's 3 times the size of most people's rooms, with an ensuite bathroom and his whole kitted out. Like, there's nothing more sweeter than be able to look at your child in the face or look at your why and say, we've done it. The goal that we set, we've done it. And just to see his face, my daughters were screaming. They saw their rooms. They were running around and they saw the garden. The garden is so big, the trampoline, everything that I had promised them and more, they had it inside of them. And that's why you have to be very close to your why. That's why you have to know what you want. That's why you have to avoid distraction. That's why you have to be present in the right area, the right room. That's why you have to set yourself goals, targets. That's why you have to drive. That's why your bank account should be your motivation. Your children should be your motivation. No one should need to motivate you. You should motivate you, because you know you're just dreaming about that look. Think about that look on their face when they see that new house. Think about your parents' face when you say, Mom, you don't have to go to work no more. Dad, you don't have to work no more. Think about, the things and the people that you want to help. When you think about it, if your why does not make you cry, it's not your why. I need you to understand, guys, that when you really are granular about your goals, when you are somebody that really focuses, there was times, guys, when it was cutthroat, I was doing calls, I was calling, I was doing this because I knew what it took. And there's something, we don't have time to go through it now, but it's called compounding time frames. So the same way we compound our money, we can compound time frames. So if you say, I need to do 3 elite packs, if I do 3 elite packs a day, and 150 a day, that's going to get me 100,000 by the end of the year. Well, how about if I did 6 and 3? If I did 6 elite packs a day and I did 300 a day, I'm going to get to 200,000 by the end of the year, and I'll get to 100,000 in 6 months. So if you learn how to double up on your goals, 10x your goals, if you learn to do more than the minimum, all of a sudden you've compressed the time frame and you get it sooner than when you started, sooner than when you wanted to get it. And it's all about your drive, your work ethic. You say, Nikki, well, I don't want to wait a year. With a formula is simple. If you don't want to wait a year, you want to do it in 6 months, you double up. You compound the time frames. You compound the work ethic. You compound everything. Now, it's in the power of you. No one can stop you for this. No one, there's not enough distractions in the world that can stop you. Only you can stop you. Now, one of the things for me, guys, is I'm excited about what I'm going to announce. I am so excited about this. This what I'm going to announce is huge. It is the hugest announcement that I probably think of my entire career. Like, it's big. This is big. This is a big, 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 big one. But before I drop the big one, I'm proud of myself. I have finished on time. Before I drop the big one, guys, I want to make sure that we have taken value from this call, that we can go away and implement. Write down what you want. Write down the goal. How much does it cost? Break it down for the year. How much do you need to make? And then what are the tangible things that you need to do? Compress timeframes. So instead of selling 3 elite packs, maybe you need to do 6. Instead of seeing one person at a time, maybe you do a call like this and you kill 20 birds with one stone, 50 birds with one stone. Imagine if you had a call like this. Instead of selling 3, you were selling 100 because you had 100 people on the call. How much time frame compounding would that be? Think about it logically. Think about it smart. I can literally be on the phone every day speaking to one person for an hour. Or I could send out a message to 1,000 people and get 1,000 people on a call and explain everything I would have been on the phone with an hour to them one time, everyone at the same time. That's what you call compounding timeframes. That's what you call being smart. So you have to think about the smartest way to do it. Some of you are taking the long way around. Some of you are taking the long way around because that's your comfort zone, but your comfort zone may not necessarily be the right route. In fact, I will urge to say that the thing you feel more uncomfortable with is a thing that's going to free you, is a thing that's going to get you the results quicker. So I want you today to write down what you want. I want you to write down from what you want, how much it's going to cost. And then from how much it's going to cost, break it down. And then I want you to work out what is the tangible goal that you're going to do every day in order to do that. Then write out your daily methods of operation. And then I want you to challenge yourself to compress timeframes. Now, I don't have time to go into it today, and I'm going to end the recording now. But if you want to learn how to do that, this is the book, guys, The 10X Rule by Mr. Grant Cardone. I've shared this for many, many years. Those of you that are new to the community, you may not have heard of it. You may have. Yes, I see you, Dion. Dion's waving her book around. This will teach you how to compress timeframes. It will also teach you how to really 10x your goal. Some of you are shooting too low. And so I challenge you in this season, as we stay focused, remove distractions. It may be that you have to unfollow certain people. It may be that you got to delete certain numbers just for this season. It may be that you may have to block out Netflix. It may be that there may be a few things that you just may have to just push to the side because you've got tunnel vision, because this is 10X season. We're going into the focus and fly season. And I urge every person on this call to get ready to focus and fly. Okay, so